When I was 4 years old, my grandfather got me a fiancé. Yes, a fiancé, as in a man I would someday marry. It was kind of like getting me a puppy, but easier. The fiancé was free, didn't require any shots, and we didn't have to housebreak him. More accurately, my grandfather won me a fiancé in the future, in a poker game with his best friend. His best friend needed one last big bet and put up one of his grandsons, then lost. But this wasn't just some guy my grandfather arranged for me to marry. No, this guy was a prince. A puppy with a pedigree, if you will. A real, honest-to-God prince, who would one day be king. I wish that was all the start to some amazing, too outlandish-to-believe fairy tale. It's not. It's my real life. And now, 27 years later, I'm sitting in that prince's office listening to him explain to me all of the reasons why I should go on a date with not one, but 2 other men.
He's handsome, well-educated, wealthy, charming, interesting.
Torrin frowns.
At least you seemed to find him interesting when you met him.
I nod. Of course I did. The things James is doing in green energy research and development are very interesting. Torrin seems pleased with that.
And he's very interested in you.
Yes, Torrin's mentioned that. 3 times now. Apparently, Dr. James Hill called Torrin and asked for my personal contact information because he'd like to see me again. Personally. We met several months ago in D.C. at an energy summit, and then Torrin invited him to Kara, our tiny remote island in the North Atlantic, to further discuss a partnership between James's company and our country. Kara doesn't have much, but we do have a lot of wind and a lot of water, both of which are key in green energy production, not to mention that there's a lot less red tape here. That all was that James seemed interested in. I had no idea he liked me as anything more than an advisor to the king. Then again, I have no experience when it comes to men and flirting and dating. I cast a glance in the direction of the other man in the room. Torrin's bodyguard and best friend is sitting in another of the upholstered armchairs in front of the prince's desk. He looks huge in the chair. He looks huge everywhere, honestly. He just is huge. He's 6'4", broad and muscular, and his shoulders and arms stretch the black suit jacket he's wearing enticingly. His dark hair and dark beard make him look even more formidable, as do the tattoos on his arms and shoulders. Not that I can see those right now, but I know they're there. I can't unknow a lot of things about Jonah, like how his protectiveness makes me feel safe, and how easy he is to talk to, and how he sees things about me no one else ever does, and how funny he is when he lets you behind his walls, and how husky his voice gets when we're standing only a few inches apart, and how his big, strong hands feel cupping my ass. Even if not knowing all of those would make my life easier, I can't stop knowing them. He has one ankle propped on the opposite knee and his arms resting on the arms of the chair. I assume he's trying to look relaxed, but he's clearly not. His jaw is tight, his hands are gripping the padded chair arms, and he hasn't said a word, or even made eye contact with me since we came into Torrin's office. Of course, he hasn't made eye contact with me all night, or spoken a word directly to me. He actually hasn't spoken directly to me since the night just over a month ago when he pushed me up against the wall in the kitchen and kissed the hell out of me, which seems inordinately rude. How dare he kiss me like that, knowing everything he knows about me, and then act as if he can't even stand to look at me. So the kiss wasn't good. What was he expecting? It was my first kiss, and he knew that going in. Yes, I'm 31 years old and I had my first kiss a month ago. But I've been engaged for all intents and purposes my entire life. Who would I have kissed? Not the guy who is so intent on not marrying me that he's actively trying to set me up on a date with another man who lives across an ocean, that's for sure. But Jonah knew that I wasn't going to be good at kissing, and he still kissed me. Or let me kiss him. Honestly, 35 days later, I'm still fuzzy on who kissed who.